comments about all of them. We're about to have another one. I think you'll enjoy it as well if you're a Baylor fan because of a commitment, but also he's a high school football coach from a program that produces fantastic talent. And we're joined by Joseph Sam, the head coach at Bowie High School in Arlington. Coach, this is David Smoke, Craig Smoke with me as well. So if I just asked you, and you didn't know me, but if I asked you, tell me about Kris Wokomah, what would you say about your young player?
I would tell you right now that he's an alpha dog that is not afraid to mix it up with the big boys.
Well, there you go. That said it all right there. He's got a little that little edge in his neck, right?
Yes, sir. He's undoubtedly the not only an emotional leader, but also I call him, he's the alpha on the defense, and all the kids respect him, not just because of his talent, but also his work ethic.
Let me ask you this. You guys have Bowie has produced some people. I mean, some young players that have gone on to play and done very well in college football. What was the recruitment, and do you know kind of when Baylor entered? Were they early? Have they been in touch with him a long, long time, or was this something that developed in the last few weeks or months?
No, I think they've kind of been in contact with him since his, I would say, the spring of his sophomore year, going through the fall of his junior year. I know Coach Curtis was one of the first people to kind of reach out, contact him. I know, our recruiting coordinators and things do a lot of things to get our kids exposure, but I know Coach Curtis was one of the first guys to kind of reach out through Coach Foster to reach out, kind of contact them, start building that relationship with them. And, Christopher is one of those kids that, he just felt the most comfortable being at Waco and the Baylor Bears. I know he went down for a camp the summer of his sophomore year and earned that offer to Baylor. And then, the relationship has just blossomed since then.
If you would have heard the story, or if he would have committed pretty much to anywhere in the country, you wouldn't be surprised of who would be interested in him, would you?
No, sir. No, he was. He had a lot of suitors. A lot of them obviously were in the state of Texas, with pretty much all the Texas schools. When it comes to his recruitment, I know out of state, he definitely had a lot of interest there. I know for a fact he had over, I think, 30, 35 offers, something like that, all around the country. So I know the Baylor Bears are definitely getting a good one.
Coach, I know you've got coaches in and out of your hallways and your offices recruiting all the time, and just the number of talented players that you've had over the years in that program. But what's it like to see a young man make his decision to be, pursued by so many different schools and the chase and all that, but when they come to their decision and that they're going to be on solid footing moving forward and be going off to play football and get an education, just what does that mean to you personally as a coach?
It means the world to me. Obviously, being a high school football coach, you definitely want to develop these young men into the best young men, be better young men than they were when they first got to you. You don't want to send off what I call bad goods to any university, but we celebrate all our student athletes regardless of level here at Arlington Bowie, because we know that that's a generational change, not just for his life, but the trajectory of his family lineage as well.
How would you describe, other than he's an alpha dog, as a leader, as someone who probably, people are magnetized to what he does? How would you describe him as a football player? Is he a ball hawk? Is he a physical tackler? How would you describe him?
So the thing I tell everybody is that he's probably the second best safety I've ever coached. And that's saying a lot. That's definitely saying a lot, because the number one safety I've ever coached, his name was Jalen Catalon. And but I would say he's a hard-hitting safety that can cover the best receiver on the field. It's probably the best way to explain his own. I think what he does best is stump people. He's not afraid to tackle anybody at any level. And like I said, but he can also take the best receiver on the opposing team's side and take him away, especially those pesky slot receivers.
Joseph, what are your thoughts when Dave Aranda came in from LSU as a part of that national championship team? And His first year, they had the COVID. Everybody dealt with that. So did you. But then they were 12-2, and I mean their defense was downright nasty. Last year didn't end quite the way they wanted, but watching them play defense, your thoughts on just what Baylor does with Dave Aranda?
I definitely think he does a great job of maximizing his personnel. At Baylor, I think he's at LSU and also at Baylor, I think he's done a really good job of catering his team to his personnel. Some years he's been more 4 down than 3 down, and other years he's been more 3 down than 4 down. But I think he does a great job of seeing what his kids can do the best and catering that to their skill set.
So what was it like for today around the program? I know it's summertime. I'm not sure if you guys are having some summer workouts, whatever, but just the fact he's committed and you get more, of course, players that do that, but what the day meant to Bowie High School.
Oh, we were all fired up for him. I know one of our coaches who plays football at Baylor, he's also a Bowie love as well, so, he was kind of sticking his chest out a little bit about that. But it was a celebration on campus. The only bad thing was that he was in summer school at lunch when he made it known to everybody that he was committed. So we'll definitely celebrate. We'll definitely celebrate with him tomorrow. But like I said, I know from a coach's perspective, we were all fired up for him when we heard the news.
You mentioned Jalen Catalon, and he was fantastic. You were at Mansfield, I think, when he was there. Was that right after or still before Jeff Hume left for Midway?
That was before Jeff Hume. I think that was probably in 2019. I think Jeff Hume got there in the, I want to say 2021, either 2021 or 2022 season.
So there's a legacy there with guys that we know. In Mansfield, of course, has cranked out some great talent. Kennedy Brooks from Mansfield High School, perhaps one of the best ever. Joseph, thank you very much. As far as one thing on him, he seems to be, I've talked with a couple of others, seems to be a great young man. You mentioned a leader. Just overall, your thoughts about him as a person?
I think he's a really great kid. He takes coaching, takes hard coaching. He's definitely the kind of kid that, not only is going to make you better as a coach, but he's going to make your program better because he's going to understand. He understands work ethic. He had 2 brothers that played college football. His dad's a great man as well. He stays on top of his grades with his dad. So I just think that, you're overall, even off the field, you're getting a young man that all he wants to do is play football, loves the Lord, and wants to do what's best to help his team win.
Thank you very much. Again, Joseph, we appreciate the insight you've been able to give us throughout the day and also for being a part of today's show, too. Thank you.
Hey, appreciate y'all, and go Vols, and y'all are getting a really good one.
Yes, sir. Joseph Sam, Bowie football coach out of Arlington, with us on 365 Sports to give us a little feedback on the commitment